Good afternoon, welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. The headlines. MWENYA, new NDC president. Government urged to suspend the issuance of licenses to foreign block-making companies in Zambia. Join me with the details after this commercial.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the...
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
And now the media news in detail. United Party for National Development Media Director Thabo Kawana has charged that the appointment of the NDC president as permanent secretary is welcome, adding that Mr. Kafumba is well vested with knowledge to run the affairs of this country in that capacity. Mr. Kafumba was appointed as PS in the Ministry of Home Affairs in charge of internal affairs, who has since resigned as party head for the opposition NDC. Meanwhile, Mr. Kawana has rubbished claims by the opposition that the appointment as PS level are tribal. He says the opposition parties should instead offer proper checks and balances.
So Mr. Kafumba is no longer the president of the NDC, and it goes without saying that when you are a politician and you are appointed into civil service, you cease wearing your political jacket. You cease wearing your political face, because now you begin to serve the people of Zambia, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of religious, regardless of creed. You serve the people of Zambia as a servant of the people. Mr. Akafumba, we want to add, is not the first time that he's been appointed permanent secretary. You are aware that Mr. Akafumba has been permanent secretary in this country before. He was permanent secretary at the Ministry of Justice not too long ago. And he is a practicing lawyer. So we know that he takes to his new ministry a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge. And as a practicing lawyer, you know that one of the things you do as a PS when you take on your position is to read the various acts that govern your ministry. We don't understand the opposition in this country. We are tired of waiting. When are they going to start providing checks and balances? Because these are not checks and balances. This is mere, if we are to use the youth language, it's just player hating, or sour grapes if you like. But basically there's nothing they're talking about. How can they talk about the appointments being tribal, and that the president has appointed his kingsmen, that he has basically appointed his tribesmen as PSs? How? That is because the opposition is putting on lenses which are tribal lenses, and therefore they can't see anything else apart from seeing tribalism or tribal practice, even where there's none. Surely, if you look at it, PS Bernard Mpumbu, is he from Monze? According to the opposition in this country, is he Tonga from Monze? PS Bernard Mpumbu. For example, State House appointee Joseph Lungu, maybe they are saying he's from Magoe. Is a Tonga from Magoe, Mr. Joseph Lungu? Are they telling us that congratulations the PS at the Ministry of Sport is actually a Tonga from Choma?
Meanwhile, the opposition National Democratic Party has appointed their party Secretary General MWENYA as party president. Presidential spokesperson George Sichula says the appointment of former NDC President Joseph Akafumba as Permanent Secretary Administration under the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security has necessitated the appointment. Meanwhile, Professor Atanga has been appointed as his NDC Vice President, who before his appointment was the NDC Chairperson in charge of higher education. Meanwhile, the NDC has announced that the party will not file in a presidential candidate in the 2026 general elections, adding that they will still support the candidature of Hakainde Hichilema under the UPND alliance.
The Civil Service Code of Ethics prohibits civil servants from active politics and vice versa. In this case, Joseph Akafumba, the former National Democratic Party president, who was until his appointment as Permanent Secretary under the Ministry of Home Affairs, was in full charge of his party. This created a gap in the NDC, which has quickly been filled by their former Secretary General, MUSENGE. Presidential spokesperson George Sichula announced this development Sunday after the UPND alliance met to decide the fate of the party.
He has found it fit to elevate the Secretary General, the current Secretary General, who happens to be Honorable MWENYA Laban Musenge, as our new president for the party. So to clear the speculations, Mr. Akafumba is no longer a president of the party. He's a civil servant now and a permanent secretary for Home Affairs Administration. So our new president is Honorable MWENYA Laban Musenge as from today going forward. There is also another change. Our new vice president is Professor Muyenga Atanga. He used to be chairman for education as member of MCC. So our vice president is Professor Muyenga Atanga.
Meanwhile, the NDC has hinted that it will not float in a presidential candidate in the 2026 general elections, but support the candidature of the alliance president, Hakainde Hichilema.
We have a leader in the name of President Hakainde Hichilema, who is leading the UPND alliance. And all of us do understand that he's got 2 terms in the office, which as NDC, together with a new president, will be able to promote at all cost. Even come 2026, we are not fielding in a president as NDC. We shall still be able to support the candidature of President Hakainde Hichilema so that the country can benefit from his good leadership. So the president that is coming to support the UPND alliance and all the agreements that have been agreed upon.
The bone of contention about the appointments of Joseph Akafumba, Kangwa Chileshe and Milna Mwanakapwe still remains subject to debate, in that the trio were still active politicians until their appointments, when in fact they were supposed to resign before being appointed. Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Business owners in Lusaka's new Kanyama site and service has allegedly lost hundreds of kwachas after their perishable goods have gone bad following a 3-day power loss in the area. In an interview, the business owners state that strong winds, which preceded the downfall of rain on Thursday, left the electricity cables intertwined, causing a power loss in the area. They state that no help has come through yet, despite various calls to the power utility company ZESCO.
These blown-off roofing sheets and damage to this building are just another negative effect of strong winds and heavy downfall of rain the country has been experiencing. This is Kanyama, new site and service in Lusaka, where apart from causing damage to buildings, the strong wind and rain have left electricity cables intertwined, causing a blackout in the area. Residents here have told Camnet News that this is now day 3 since the blackout and that no help has come through, despite them reporting the matter to the power utility company ZESCO.
Kwenda ugira po ile hapo pamwamba na ntambo za kumiana. So 3 days now my light is kumankala kuno Bazesco tutakatumafoni phone. Bakamba church tizabwera, but still subabwera. So this is our problem we have here in Kanyama. Most of the time we do have challenges like this. So even outside my shop said panja mansomba manyama ya mbohola bambotenga manyama kwambopeleka kuli malaiti. So please, we need an agent bese batutandize ku malaiti kuti tikaleko na malaiti, and then ntambo bazikonzeko ntambo nizogwirana. Even right now nizogwirana.
Kuna bwa bwa chimpepo shikulu chinanyamula malata kumenya pamtenje kumenya kuntambo za malaiti. So pa chinabwira chimpepo chenzi na power maningi malaiti kunabwa kwa gaspaki Bazesco problem etidanda lako ni mozi kubura chimpepo kampepo cheka ngono ka mistake ngono pesa malaiti yaenda. So apatinga na affect ya makodrums banana siku pia mushe ifu what meaning tipanga chabe malosi. So Bazesco wangaleko serious na vewa chita tupetinga pembeko wa agent alliance amnanga kwanisire kutitaniza kupali malaiti ndanda olutuma peleka ku Bazesco kulibeta mnewa chitabu.
Those with businesses state that this has negatively affected them as they have had to throw away their perishable goods, leaving their fridges now empty. They have expressed concern over the response rate by the power utility company and have called for quick action to situation.
Kuna bora tipepo jinajua maachani ntambo za malaiti. Manja pa kwa pita 3 days no malaiti mandia naonongeka vitu vonse inamba vonongeka.
So pa business ili bwanji kwa tu munsomba yanu yendesha tabwanja nongeka na
naonongeka fatunachosa tunatayana kutaya. Tukai 3 days ndikuru. Ndio yonse tunachosa tunataya.
In a recent appearance on Camnet TV, ZESCO Senior Corporate Affairs Manager Dr. John Kunda indicated that the company will work towards improving its response rate to electricity reports. Zipora Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Block Makers Association of Zambia has called on the government to suspend the issuance of licenses to foreign investors intending to establish block-making companies in Zambia. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Association President Elias Piri says the influx of foreigners in the country has killed many small block-making businesses, which has been their source of income. Mr. Piri says government should instead empower local block makers with the right equipment so as to improve on the quality to meet the required standards.
The block-making business has been booming in Zambia owing to the fact that Zambia is a developing country and new infrastructure is taking shape. This has seen the block-making business, which was mostly dominated by the local Zambians, now being taken over by foreign investors who have come with improved machinery which allows them to produce blocks and pavers in large quantities compared to the local people. The influx of foreigners in the business has seen local block makers being kicked out of the business, which to others has been their own sources of income. The Block Makers Association of Zambia is now calling on the new government through the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise to consider suspending the issuance of licenses to new foreign investors in the sector, but instead empower the local people with the right equipment so that the business can be reserved for the local Zambians, which will help create employment.
Foreigners that were left to come and do the same business that Zambians are doing, they're depriving our people. You know, these foreigners are depriving our people. This is a very big challenge, and we need a policy change, a policy shift, a policy that will have regulations, a policies that will be strict policies for Zambians. This business was started by Zambians, and it has been taken over by the foreigners. And the leaders are just looking, and the economy is going down daily.
Mr. Piri adds that there is no technology or complicated process involved in the making of blocks, but only a mixture of sand and cement, which can be done by the local people and does not require any foreign investor.
It's a simple business. We only get cement, sand, and water. What technology do you require? There's not a technology that is required. You know, no technology at all. Let them do their businesses in their own countries, which requires so much technology. And if they need to come and invest in this nation, they should bring large businesses that Zambians can't do. Not depriving Zambians, taking away businesses from Zambians, no.
Property 1,000. Iyo 1,000 kuti isile kugulisiwa bane izasira almost 2 months. Nikagulisako 50 kwacha, ayali 50. Nitenge 100 kwacha nije pa nyumba. Nitenge 100 kwacha nipeleke ku school ya mwana. Yasira.
But Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Elias Mubanga had not yet responded to the call by broadcast time. For now, we will wait to see how the government will ensure local businesses are reserved for the local people, as was their campaign message. Prudence Tota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. MUSENGE is new NDC president. Government aids to suspend the issuance of licenses to foreign block-making companies in Zambia. Thank you for joining us. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.